Okay, this is gonna be a quick one. Going to show you how to use ChatGPT to understand the basics of grammar. I always say you shouldn't study grammar, and you shouldn't. It's a waste of time if you do grammar exercises and you study different, like all the theory and all the nonsense. Grammar books are a waste of time in general, but you need to have an understanding of how it works. And the best thing you can do is just take a quick look at it and then go back to uh, looking at sentences in context and listening and all that. Yeah, mostly learn vocab. Grammar will be useful only if you know the vocab. Anyway, you come to ChatGPT and you type explain the basics of Turkish grammar, for example, using examples, and you get agglutination. Turkish is an agglutinative language, which means that it forms words and grammatical structures by adding affixes. Some of you might not be familiar with all these terms because you haven't studied linguistics. Yeah, I haven't studied linguistics either. Honestly, I studied translation, which is turning text into text in another language. So uh, I mean, I've read linguistic books, but I haven't studied linguistics in uni or anything like that. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of big words either, like agglutination and the verb forms and all that. I understand them, but I'm not a big fan of using them, mostly because I have to explain this stuff to people, and if I have to explain all these terms every time, is a waste of time. So yeah, you don't need to know all this. So, but yeah, let's take a look. Then we can simplify. Turkish is an agglutinative language, which means that it forms words and grammatical structures by adding fixes to a root of base. For example, F house, Flair houses. Okay, now I know. Basque is an agglutinative language as well, native language, and so Slavic languages like Russian. Uh, I think, yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Um, Turkish typically follows subject, object, verb, word order. Yeah, that's not that useful. Word order is not that useful because you learn that it's a very this kind of stuff is useful because otherwise you say F and then you say Fler and you're like, so which one is house? And but then again, when you see this ler in context a few times, you're like, oh, so the ler in the end is plural. Okay. And basically, what you need to do is just take a quick look at this cases. They have six cases. So Kitab Okurum is I read a book. Kitabi I read that book. Okay, so that changes. That's the book. Uh, Kitabin Rangi Güzel. So the color of the book is nice. Yeah. So now I know how this works more or less. I know my native language Basque is like that. The color of the book is nice. Liburuaren kolorea polita, for example. Yeah, it's the same thing. You change the endings instead of saying the. Yeah, you don't see the of the all that stuff. You instead of that you change the endings. That's what you need to know. So then when you're reading, and you when you're memorizing words, and also when you're reading and listening, you're aware of that, and you don't learn kitab and kitabi and kitabin as different words. It's just one word, and then you learn the you learn the endings. Yeah, you could also create associations for the endings. So you uh, so you memorize the grammar. You could also do that. You could use associations to learn grammar rules. I don't do it. Maybe I should try it more, but I just this is the maximum grammar learning I do. Okay, then verbs. I come, you come. So this changes. I guess this is I. This is you. And then that changes. Okay. Past tense. So the there is in the past. You start seeing some. Uh, you start seeing some patterns, recognizing some patterns. Agreement. Adjective pronouns. Yeah. So I'm happy. You are happy. Yeah. That the endings change. Okay, that's good to know. Uh, Definite articles. Is this che? I don't know. I have no idea about pronunciation. Chokuklar or Sochuklar. I don't know. Kitab okur. Okay. Okay. And then you just go back to memorizing vocab and reading and listening. And you come back. Maybe it's a good idea, especially the first few times, to come back and take a look at this every time, like before you start with the input. Just take a quick look at the whole thing, so you uh, review how the grammar works. Like, take a minute and speed read the thing, and that's it. You could also, if you're struggling with something in particular, you could also do this. Like, give me more examples of Turkish verbs in the past using sentences. To go. I went to school yesterday. Ben dün okula gittim. Do you go to the cinema? Gittin. Just them. But again, this is already getting complicated. So you have an idea of how it works. You know, it's instead of lots of forgetting um, the are on that stuff. They change the endings. I'm not very good with grammatical terms and stuff. Prepositions. I mean, yeah, and the articles. Um, that's why I don't like using those terms. Instead of those, they have it's agglutinative. So it's got the ending thing. Yeah. So you change the ending of the word. You know that now you ready to start memorizing vocab and doing input, and that's it. This is how you learn grammar. This is all you need. I'm not saying I know the grammar. What I'm saying is that, of course, I don't know Turkish grammar yet, but what I'm saying is that I have a general idea of how it works. Now it's just context. Been exposed to it a lot, and I learn the grammar in context. Uh, I'll memorize lots of vocab, memorize lots of already made sentences, and I learn the grammar by learning sentences, by already knowing how it works. And that's it. Anyway, I hope you found this useful, and see you later.